Does the constraints-led approach reinforce bad habits for grapplers? Thank you for joining me on this, my journey into the constraints-led approach for BJJ. My name is Sam Battlefields, and to address this topic, we're going to go through today's class. The warm-up was our boxing tag game, where we used only our lead hand. However, we also added a win condition where if both the lead hand and the other hand were touching the knee and the shoulder at the same time, we called it and then switched partners. So this allowed us to create some feints that would create some openings that would allow us to do something like a single leg or a knee pick takedown, and also be able to see some other affordances that might have showed up. For the control portion of the lesson, it was back control. Person on the front, their goal was to get their elbow in between and facing their opponent, while the person on the back, their goal was to separate the elbow from their body and put it above their head. The simple nature of that goal, which is to be facing your opponent and have your elbow in between them, meant that there was multiple avenues to escape. Something like getting guard, or even potentially getting on your side and building some frames through your knees. I hear what you're saying already though. But Battle, you could just end up in mount. For sure, but if you've kept your elbows tight and protected, you're actually on the offensive rather than the defensive at that point. Anecdotally, I've been told forever that I need to keep my elbows in, keep my elbows tight, keep my elbows here, blah 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 blah. But it wasn't until I had some targeted and specific games that made sure that I knew what I was doing, that my body was adapting to its environment, that it finally stuck. We moved on to the focus of the lesson, which was open guard. We started in essentially kind of a seated guard where we had double connection on the wrist with 1 foot on the hips. The goal for the person on top was to put them on their ass or either side on their hips, and the person on top, well, their goal was just to stay standing. The second game was only 1 connection. The person on the bottom, they could do everything they could do previously with an added addition of being able to do a stand-up / wrestle up. And the person on the top, their goal was to get a chest-to-chest pin. I experimented with the wrestle up myself, but because I've got the agility of a white Rheno, rest in peace, this was seen and counted. However, because they saw and counted and I had the momentum, I was able to counter that with a sweep. So how does this relate to bad habits?
There is no bad habit.
We are constantly adapting to our environment. We are always looking to execute the most effective solutions based on our own ability. This is called self-organization and continuous adaptation. Believing that there is such a thing as bad habits is kind of the hallmark of believing there is a thing that's called the perfect technique, that not even the people that espouse that same myth believe in, because they will tell you that there's variation on that perfect technique. This is called functional variability. Over time, you get better at attuning to the opportunities presented to you, and you're able to take action on those opportunities. Those opportunities are called affordances. CLA doesn't contribute to bad habit formation. It has continuous adaptation, functional variability, self-organization, and the effective use of affordances. So I would say that it's the information processing / traditional approach that creates bad habits. Well, if there was such a thing.
There is no bad habit.
If you feel like I'm wrong, I'm keen to have you on. Go to battlefieldgrappling.com.au and fill in the form. And the rest of you, like, comment, subscribe.